Brian, I think you got a number one there.
Yeah,
There you go.
I got the first straw. I don't know if that's good news or bad news for me. So hi everybody, my name is Brian Bauer. I'm a native New Yorker, New York City born and raised. I've been on Roosevelt Island for the last 7 years, and even since getting here, I've got to see a lot of the changes that we've seen in the community. Some of them have been really good and positive changes. Some of them I think are really worrying. For me especially, to see kind of the depression on Main Street, where we've lost so many of the small businesses for nothing. They're just empty lots now. I just got married this last year, and I'm really looking to make sure that Roosevelt Island continues to be a community where I can start and raise a family, and that's kind of important to me. I want to make sure, if I had a chance to get to the board, that the budget takes into consideration what the existing residents need, what the residents that don't necessarily own an existing unit are also going to be able to need. I'm highly concerned about the impact Cornell is going to have on our community from a law enforcement standpoint, from a budgetary standpoint. I worry that the state is going to try and put more and more pressure to concede to Cornell's desires, especially over the long term. From a professional standpoint, I come from an analysis and consulting background. I worked for Thomson Reuters in anti-corruption and anti-money laundering work, trying to help big banks prevent the laundering of money, misuse of money internally, and comply with all the necessary laws. And I really want to be able to bring that kind of expertise and that long-term view of what I want to see happen on this island to the RIOC board, and I hope that it'll give you a chance to represent all of you. Sure.
Hi, good evening. I tend to overmodulate, so I really don't think I need this, but I'll leave it close to me in case somebody can't hear me. First of all, thank you for having me here and giving me this opportunity. Joyce, thanks for setting this up, and for Margie for some sage advice and listening to her. And I guarantee you, any of us who participates in this will probably be ringing you off the hook to get information. When I heard about the possibility of an election for the RIOC board, I became very interested. I'm a first-generation immigrant. I came to this country with my family as a little kid, and not a New Yorker, lived primarily in Milwaukee and Chicago, and grew up in the Midwest. But I very much am enthralled with service. To me, life is about service. Service to your community, service to your country, patriotic family. I enlisted in the military at 17 years old with Dad's permission, and went in the Army first and spent 14 years in Special Forces, and then transferred to the Marine Corps. I did 33 years total in the military in both active and reserve service, and also served 26 years in law enforcement. So I've got both a military and a law enforcement career behind me. I'm serving in my first private sector job, which is a little bit fascinating, and I happen to work for Mike Bloomberg. So I work at Bloomberg, 11 minutes door to door here, and this is why we found Roosevelt Island. I fell in love with Roosevelt Island. My wife and I really like it here, and we feel that we should devote some of our time to community service. I'm very involved in community action programs. I'm on the New York City Citizens Crime Commission. I work on the board of the Overseas Security Advisory Council. I'm a volunteer with American Corporate Partners and with Bloomberg Philanthropies. So we feel strongly about giving back to the community. I have no desire to serve in a position that pays me to serve in it. This is about serving the community, and I feel very strongly about representing Roosevelt Island. And what I saw in the first 2 years of living here is that there seems to be some momentum and some action towards getting Cornell Tech here, which is a wonderful thing, and I think they're going to be great neighbors, but with those neighbors comes significant impact to all of us. And most of you have probably lived on the island longer than some of us have been alive, and you know that that impact comes with a big price. And we have to have a voice in that office. The RIOC board is not just a rubber stamp. It's not just something that we say, Roger, or whatever that Albany tells us to do. Absolutely not. We have to have a voice that resonates, a voice that's realistic, and last but not least, a voice that's authentic. And the only way to have authenticity is to have somebody that lives here, that breathes here, that pays taxes here, spends their time here, and understands the nuances of what it is to live on Roosevelt Island. So that's what I feel I'd like to bring to represent. I think you have to bring the unpopular messages as well as the popular ones, and they have to come in a way that we communicate effectively with everyone. I think there's a lack of communication and transparency right now. Try picking up the phone and finding out when Sports Park is going to open. Try finding out when the tram's going to be down. I believe in public safety. I think that we have to have our public safety people be accountable to us and make sure that we have security on the streets, and that does not mean cops standing in one single location and having spent 26 years on the job with most of it on patrol. Patrol means shedding out your shoe leather. You need to be walking. And it also means being cooperative with the community. So those are the things that I believe strongly in. I also believe in fiscal responsibility. We can't go willy-nilly spending the government's money, but we have to spend effectively, and we have to have a say in what's being spent here on this island. Now this year, 33% of the budget for the state of New York is coming from the federal government. Unfortunately, what's happening with federal budget? Getting slashed, particularly in social programs. So we can anticipate seeing a slash here in Roosevelt Island as well. Having said that, there's some money that's due to Roosevelt Island, and Cornell Tech should have something coming to us in the form of impact funds, given the fact that there's going to be a significant rise in use of our transportation and use of our resources. Aside from that, going along with what Brian said with respect to Main Street, it's a tragedy that the businesses are falling apart there. It's a tragedy that we have doors closed. We need to find a way to incentivize small businesses to come to Roosevelt Island, stay on Roosevelt Island, and I mean meaningful businesses that we can all spend our money at. So these are things that I'd like to look forward to for Roosevelt Island, and I can assure you that my intent is to be a strong voice of collaboration, reason, and responsibility for Roosevelt Island in Albany. Thank you. Eduardo Gianni, I apologize.
Lydia Tang doesn't need any introduction.
Hi, can you all hear me, or should I just use my teacher voice?
No, use the
Okay. I guess my teacher voice is the no that.
Am I frightened?
Okay, so my name's Lydia Tang. I've lived on Roosevelt Island for over 22 years, and I've been involved in so many different organizations, many of which you may have done worked with me in those. I've been in CERT with Sarah, I've been in CERT with Linda, I've been in CERT with Matthew, I've been, I think you read my bio in Main Street Wire, so I don't have to repeat all of that. I have also seen the demise of the storefronts on Main Street, and I'm very concerned about it, and I tried to get involved in the one case in which the general store was going out of business and being evicted, and trying to get that. I learned a couple of things. I learned that RIOC has a contract with, oh gosh. Yeah, Hudson related, and it's virtually impossible to get out of. So that is the sad thing about that, and I don't know what to do, but I would like to find out what can we do to be able to negotiate further with Hudson related, talk to David Kramer, talk to other players. Hopefully we can do something about it, because it really is tragic. I know that there are storefronts coming in. I'm hoping that the Mexican restaurant does really well. I don't know what's happening to Trellis. I want to find out what's happening to Trellis. Everybody wants to know what's happening to Trellis. I know that the library is moving. I'm the library advocate, so I'm hoping that happens. But I don't know what the details of that are either in terms of time frame. So I would like to be a part of the voice. And I hope that you think that, or you think that I would be a good voice. I have a lot of concerns about RIOC and the lack of, how would we say it? The board has a lot of times been forced or not forced to rubber stamp who is appointed as the president of RIOC. There doesn't seem to be much say. there's a lot of lack of power in the board, and I don't know, I would like to find out why. And I hope that all of you would like to find out why as well. We are majority residents, and we need to have a voice that's even stronger than it is now. So, and I'm sad to see that Michael Shinizaki isn't here, because I would love to hear him talk. So, and thank you very much, Margie, for all the work that you've done. I really do appreciate all of it. And I guess we'll have questions.
There we go.
So my being here a little late is not because it was an attempt to make a grand entry so that you could all see me and see how wonderful I am and, you know, this handsome face. I had some court-ordered, I'm an attorney in downtown New York, I'm a litigator. I had some federally court-ordered depositions and stuff that I was only able to extradite myself moments ago in order to come here. I came as soon as I can, so I apologize for being late to my fellow people here. As I said, my name is Mark Block. I've lived on the island for almost 12 years. I've been a member of, we've been active, I have a wife and 2 daughters. My older daughter, who is 12, has been, I've been her soccer coach and baseball coach for quite a long time. We've been active in youth activities. Even though our daughter goes to school in Manhattan at Hunter, we've been active with the local school. We love Roosevelt Island and we want to work towards making it even better. As I said, I'm an attorney. I'm a UN appointed neutral, meaning the United Nations has acknowledged me. My skill level to help determine issues between member nations and companies within those nations. So I have some skills with dealing with issues. I'm not going to say that I'm super brilliant and all that other stuff. I'm just telling you that that's my background. I identified some journal things that I've done, so you know that I'm not a complete moron. I'm interested in working towards making this island even better. I think that the development in the 12 years we've lived here, we've seen substantial change, both good and bad. You know, the increased number of buildings is changing, I would say not necessarily for the worse, but it's changing the nature of the island. But the thing that I'm most concerned about is the deadening of the central part of the island. The stores are closed. You know, we know people who, I've looked to a client of mine was looking to open something here, and they had very hard times with certain issues about that. I have a friend who opened a store and had to close it because it's a dead thoroughfare. And why is it a dead thoroughfare? Because there's nothing here, and that's a problem. There's there are issues with the youth center, and I think we have to revitalize that. There are issues with the availability of space and with people's ability to interact for that. These are problems. And when we have, it's not a small community. There aren't a small number of people here. And when you have counter opportunities, and those are shut down or face opposition, that's a problem. You know, why can't there be multiple opportunities for the kids, for the adults? I think there's a lot of opportunity here that just, quite frankly, doesn't get addressed. And I'd like to try and fix it. If anything that the recent, how do I put this, election showed is that you have to get involved. So I'm getting involved. Thank you very much.